All right, here we are with another action-packed edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on the 15th day of February 2018. What a nice little taste of spring we had today. Before the rain started, it was awfully nice outside. Temperatures were close to 60. We had a few sunny breaks here and there, but the rain arrived, and the rain is here to stay, and we're going to talk a lot about tonight's rain in just a second. First, a quick review of some of our local rain gauge numbers here over the last 24 hours. This only takes us back to about 7 o'clock last evening. Of course, it rained some before then. So these are just 24-hour totals. But yeah, about a quarter of an inch to a half an inch over the last 24 hours in this zone. Even a little more than that when you count what happened before the 7 o'clock hour yesterday evening. So the ground is pretty wet. And we've got more rain, of course, occurring as we speak. And the threat for some minor flooding issues locally as well. We're going to keep an eye on the river gauges tonight. That is for sure. This is Eagle Creek in southwestern Trumbull County. This is one of the trouble spots whenever we see heavy rain and rivers are running a little high. Latest observation put it at 8.1 feet, which is an action stage, but not quite to minor flood stage, which is 9.5 feet. So maybe kind of a close call. This might try to sneak into a minor flood stage as we go through the overnight tonight. At Leavittsburg, the Mahoning River, 6.88 feet, I should say. The latest observation as of about 5:15 this evening. Forecast to crest as we go through late tomorrow and into tomorrow night at around 9 feet, which again is not quite to minor flood stage, which at Leavittsburg is 10 feet. So yeah, the rivers are going to run high, but do we expect a big flooding problem? No, probably not, especially up in Trumbull County, where I suspect we're going to kind of miss out on some of the heaviest of the rain, at least in the next few hours. Right now, the axis of heaviest rain remains in our southern viewing area as of 7:10, still pouring down towards Wellsville, East Liverpool, even a few claps of thunder down there this evening. We've had some thunder and lightning near I-70 throughout the last several hours. Let me take these warnings off so it doesn't clutter up the screen just briefly here. Look at all the thunder and lightning heading towards the Pittsburgh area right now. And yeah, a slew of flood warnings out. And actually some thunderstorm wind damage reported southwest of Pittsburgh, actually pretty close to the PA, Maryland, West Virginia intersection down here. A pretty mountainous area and kind of unusual to see a severe thunderstorm warning at any time of the year down here, but particularly, of course, in the month of February. This is in effect until 7:15. Even a little broad rotation with that initially when they issued that severe thunderstorm warning. But that's out of our viewing area. We care more about what's going on here locally, and the Weather Service just a second ago did issue a flood warning that includes Columbiana County. So Columbiana County, part of the flood warning that was out for areas to the south. Not expecting a tremendous amount of flooding here, but this axis of rain with the heavier stuff is going to probably try to shift north a little bit over the next few hours. Notice all the downpours out here towards Mansfield. This is going to keep running over the same areas. So, is someone going to get 4 or 5 inches of rain tonight? No, but the ground is wet, and 3/4 of an inch to an inch worth of rain could indeed cause a few problems. Here's our high-res futurecast for the overnight. It's going to rain. It's going to rain all night. Now, the rain's going to taper off and end in most spots from north to south by daybreak tomorrow morning. Might try to linger a little past that south of Route 30. Not sure it's this far north. I'm not quite buying this just yet, but nonetheless, we could see a few snow flurries by mid-morning as the colder air starts to pour in. Our big picture for tomorrow, notice the backwards trend in our temperatures. Temperatures just keep falling tomorrow. We'll end up in the 20s by early afternoon. So that morning temperature, that'll be the high for the day, right around daybreak. 10 hours, 42 minutes of daylight tomorrow. Unfortunately, not a lot of sun to enjoy, but we will have a dry afternoon after a damp start and maybe a couple of flurries for mid-morning. The afternoon should be dry, and actually a few sunny breaks are a possibility. Look at these wind chills, though. Close to 60 this afternoon, and wind chills tomorrow afternoon will be in the upper teens to around 20. It's going to be a big dramatic change. This is a brief cold shot, but it is notable because of how warm it certainly was today. All right, so as we head into the weekend, high pressure builds across and gives us a quiet Friday night. It's going to be cold. Air temperatures will drop into the teens Friday night. Now, clouds are going to increase quickly on Saturday. Here's the latest run of our in-house model. We look at a lot of models. This is just one of them. It has the back edge of the snow only getting to maybe Pittsburgh, and maybe even east of there. Some other modeling does have it farther to the west. Some is farther east. There's still a fair amount of model disagreement on the specifics of this fast-moving, weak area of low pressure. Whether we get snow or not, the impacts will be pretty minimal. If we see some snow Saturday night, I'm looking for pretty minor impacts. By Sunday, the sun's back out, and whatever snow might have occurred Saturday night will melt pretty quickly. So these are the odds of an inch or more worth of snow put out by the National Weather Service, and I think they're on the right track here. 30 to 40% odds, generally speaking, in our viewing area of an inch or more worth of snow. So you might see a slushy inch to at most 2. That might be even pushing it. Some places might miss the snow completely. Still kind of a tough call, snow or no snow, but if there is snow, not going to make a big deal out of it. Really don't think it's very impactful at all. Let's talk about early next week, because here comes the warmth once again. This is Monday on the GFS model. Now, you see a lot of green here. It's going to rain some, but temperatures will be close to 60 on Monday, kind of like they were today. And then Tuesday is the day where temperatures are probably going to be off to the races. And we could be in record territory Tuesday afternoon, because we're firmly in a southwest flow here. Our front is still back here. And although there could be a shower in spots, maybe even a thunderstorm, we should have enough dry time that we'll get into the mid-60s on Tuesday. The record high is 65, set 2 years ago. And I've got a forecast of 66 for Tuesday afternoon. Cold front then rolls through, it looks like, as we go into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. And the air behind this front is not Arctic in origin. It is Pacific in origin. So while it's not going to be in the 60s behind the front, it is still going to be above average. You know, we're talking about 40s for the tail end of next week. It's Thursday evening. Let's look at the European long-range modeling here, and what a warm run this is. As we go towards the end of February and into early March, not seeing many signs of a pattern change on this run of the model through the first week of March. Here's the second week of March, showing maybe a little cool anomalies trying to show up on the East Coast, but it's not an especially notable cool pattern. So I'm not seeing many signs on this run of the models of a big cool down coming in March. I still suspect that March ends up being close to average, probably at times pretty darn chilly. But the first 10 days of the month, maybe not so much. Here's a look at the precipitation anomalies on that same run of the model for the next month, showing a pretty active pattern across our part of the country. So we might have a lot of warm days, but we could have a fair amount of wet days, kind of like we're having now and kind of like we're going to have early on next week. So, that's just one run of the models. We look for trends in those longer range models, and we'll have another peek at that same set of modeling Monday evening. The European long range model runs every Monday and Thursday. Thanks for checking out tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. I'll, of course, have more updates on tonight's rain throughout the evening, any flooding threats. And we're on time, I think, tonight. I think we go on at 11 tonight, a rare break in our Olympic coverage. So you don't have to stay up too late to see the late news tonight. And I'll, of course, be showing you fresh radars and everything else you need to know for your Friday and for your weekend. Thanks again for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here tomorrow.